recently set up a poll where I asked you guys what sort of mixing console you use, digital or analog, and over 70% of you guys said you use an analog mixing console. And so in response to that, here's a video on how to build a mix from scratch using an analog mixing console. The song I'll be mixing in this video is a recording of the praise and worship session in my church. Let's jump right into it. Here's a brief overview of how I've laid out my console. I actually have more inputs on the day than this console would afford me, so I've grouped some things together and sent into a mono input. So what I've got here is a kick channel, a snare drum, I've got the lead vocal here, I've got the bass guitar, a mono keyboard, a mono track. I recorded stereo keyboard and stereo tracks on the day, but I've just got mono in here. And I've got the drum overhead and the toms into the stereo input, and the backing vocal, all four of them, into the stereo input as well. And yes, before I proceed, I've already done some routing into groups. So I have all groups 1 and 2, or sub 1 and 2 in this case, are all my instruments. So the drums and the drums, the keys, the bass, and the tracks are all into sub 1 and 2 because I'm doing stereo here. And sub 3 and 4 I'm using for all my vocals, the lead vocals and the backing vocals. I've done the routing already here by using these bus assign switches. And I'll quickly set high pass filters here. So this is my kick channel, no high pass filter. High pass filter is 75 Hertz in this console. If you watched my previous video on building a mix with this console, you probably might know that already. So high pass filter for my snare, high pass filter for my lead vocal, no high pass filter for my bass guitar, high pass filter for the rest of my inputs. I don't have high pass filter for this too, and that's fine. And let's start mixing the kick drum. Here we go. Unmute and bring it up. I'm not really doing much EQ today, just some low in the kick drum. I wouldn't really mess up with the mid frequencies a lot, but let me just see if I can do anything here. Yeah, probably cut this a little bit. Some high and the low. Yeah, that's fine. Mute this, get the snare up as well, and solo this. Set gain again for the snare drum. Yeah, we're using just one microphone for the snare, and yeah, this is how we're able to set it. It sounds a lot papery, and the snare sounds are not really captured here because of the one microphone we're using. The microphones I'm using here for the drums are actually knockoff microphones. So it's an AKG drum microphone set, which is very inexpensive and you don't expect it to sound the best. For the kick drum, however, I'm using the Shure Beta 91A microphone. I swapped the kick drum mic that came with the set for the Shure Beta 91A, which I've placed inside the kick drum, and it sounds really good. But for the rest of the drum kit, because the mics are not too great, you don't expect them to sound really great, just as you can hear from the snare drum now. So let's just proceed with that. Yep. Unmute it and bring it up. Here we go. And yeah, not too bad. A little bit of high. Yeah, I don't want to mess up with it too much. Kick and the snare. And I'll add reverb to the snare drum. I already have the reverb engine set, and I just yeah, that's fine. I'll adjust the reverb as we move on. I'll mute this too now and bring in my drum overheads and tones, which I've got in this channel. So I'll solo that first. When you're setting gain in your mixing console, you don't have to bring the fader up. You don't even have to unmute the channel. Just solo the channel. You're able to hear it from your headphones. Just in case you already have your service going on before you plug an input into your console and won't actually set gain before you bring it up. You can do all of that with the channel muted and fader all the way down, which is what I'm doing right here. So I'll set gain and aim for the 0 dB position. The overhead and the toms still capture a little bit of the snare as well. So This is something you have to be wary of because the snare sound is definitely going to be in the overhead and sometimes in the tom microphones as well as in the snare microphone. So okay, not bad. Unmute and bring it up. Bring in the snare as well and the rest of the drum kits. Mute this. Because the toms are here in this channel and I can hear the snare as well, I want to add a little bit of reverb on this channel as well, so I can get reverb on the toms as well. Not too much because I don't want reverb on the hi-hats and on the cymbals, but I just want a little bit on the toms. If I have the luxury of extra channels where I can have individual toms on their individual channels, then I can add the reverb directly just on the tom channel. So I'll try it now just on this channel. Yeah, moving forward, get into the bass guitar, which is channel 4. Oh, I have to wait for the bass player to, okay. Not bad. Unmute and bring it up. Doesn't sound too bad. A little bit of low. I think I'm hearing a little bit of some nasal sound in the bass that I'm not quite okay with. Yeah, around here. Check it out a little bit. That's fine. What I usually do here, I like to bring in the bass and the kicks just to make sure one isn't drowning out the other. So the bass. The kick isn't as pronounced as I want it to be, and this console doesn't have a high dynamic range. So if you bring something high to a lot, it's probably going to get the your master level clipping kind of. So what I usually do is I bring everything a little bit down, or I bring the master fader down, not just in 0. I put it, say, at -5 and leave it there. So I have the luxury of headroom to increase the kick a little bit, just to sit above that bass a little bit. So I'll probably take the kick up a little bit and bring the kick and the bass. Yeah, it sounds a whole lot better. Bringing everything, I've already maced the drums and the bass. Okay. So probably get into the tracks in this case, which is like the loop. That's 7 and 8 here. Oh, nice. Something you already noticed, this channel is tracks anyway, so it has the loop, has some clap and drum sounds in it, and then has some keyboard sounds, some stems in it. So it's quite a full track, and you just don't want to mix it like a click track or just like it only has a drum just to help the drummer. It has everything in it. So I'm quite careful as to how I use EQ here. I'm just keeping everything flat, and I'm pretty sure the keyboardist who prepared this track did a good job in making sure everything sounds good. So I'll keep the track as it is and just bring it up. So unmute and bring it up. Really good. Now I'll bring the keys, and the keyboard will sound a lot like the tracks because the track has keyboard in it, and the keyboard is playing, kind of mirroring what the track already is playing. So what I will do there, I think I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself here, is to actually do a little bit of panning on the keys and the track channel. Just the keys a little bit, say a little bit left, and the tracks a little bit to the right. Just so everything has their own space in the mix. But let me get the keyboard up first. Solo the track. Yep. Bring the keys and unmute it. And the tracks, keys, both of them. Keys pan a little left, tracks a little bit to the right. Bringing everything. Before I proceed, I just want to mention that this video was inspired by a member of this channel. And in case you've not joined channel membership, this is an opportunity to join. And channel membership gives you an opportunity to not just support this channel, but it gives you access to me, gives you the opportunity to ask questions which you're guaranteed that I'm able to answer. And I have some exclusive perks that are reserved for channel members only. So if you're interested in having your video idea, having me work on your video idea, then please join the channel membership. I've put the link to it in the description. And you should also consider signing up for my course, The Fundamentals of Live Audio Engineering. And yeah, the link for that is also in the description. I kind of like the way the instruments sound and the way they sit in the mix already. So let's work on the vocal, starting with the lead vocal. So solo that.
Hey, from heaven above, let me see you dance to Jesus. To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. I cannot.
The lead vocal here, she was very energetic on the day, and as you can hear, she's kind of running out of breath. So it's and sometimes she shouts, and because of the kind of music the present worship is, she shouts sometimes, she goes out of breath, she's running around all around the place. So it's very tricky to be able to mix her without a compressor, which this console doesn't have because an analog mixing console. So there's a lot of dynamic range in our voice. We'll try as much as possible to do that. On this console, when everything is going, something you should be aware of when you don't have a compressor on your mixing console and you're doing a very energetic song, the lead vocal will be going up, coming down a lot. So you probably have to be sensitive with her fader and be his or her fader and be riding it a lot. So I kind of like the way she sounds already. Just a little bit of what I'm doing on EQ here is just to take out a little bit of low end. Sounds really good already. If I'm in a high end console, I'll probably put a little bit of a gate, kind of like the PSC, point source extractor in the Behringer and the Behringer wing, which I use all the time as well. And just to take out a little bit of the background noise, because you can hear the lead vocal, the backup vocal, there's a wedge monitors in front of her, so it's picking up some noise, but it's not the end of the world anyway. So I'll bring her up.
1, 2, let's go. See, I've got joy in the Holy Ghost. Not from cash or dominoes. Life no fee, bring me low.
Ooh.
Are we ready to give the Lord some praise this morning?
So let's do the backup singers or the background singers. Oh yeah.
Come out. I can see some people are dancing already. We're gonna take it calm this morning. Are we ready?
I need to
now?
hold on until the backup singers actually start singing.
Jesus will live.
I think I'll get them here. Still have the lead vocal singing. Okay.
Jesus
Yep.
will lift your name on high. Your name on high. Be lifted high. Jesus will lift your name on high. Your name. Be lifted high. 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 Be lifted high.
What I want to do is to add the reverb to the lead vocals channel and also add the reverb to the backing vocals channel. For the background vocals, there are 4 of them. I brought all 4 of them into the stereo channel here, this channel 11 and 12. And I did a little bit of panning. So I did 50, kind of went through. I did a 50% panning, did a 25%, then I went to the right to do 25% and 50% as well, just to cover all 4 of them. You can pan as you like, you can send everything hard left and hard right, which isn't very ideal in a live sound situation anyway. But yeah, that's how you can see the sound kind of everywhere around the spectrum, just to give them their own space and put the lead vocal in the middle. Hopefully they're still singing when I mute them. Yep. Oh no. Let me get everything back in. Trying to control the lead vocal. She's going high and trying to sing. She's just struggling to maintain a particular level. So I'm always on her feet out trying to get her where I want her to be. Kind of like a drum solo.
I wanna teach you something. 1, 2, let's go. I'm not told in the Holy Ghost. Not from cash or dominoes. Life's nothing criminal. I take from within and I put it on. I'm not told in the Holy Ghost. Not from cash or dominoes. Life's nothing criminal. I take from within and I put it on. I'm not told in the Holy Ghost. Not cash or dominoes. Life's nothing criminal. I take from within and I put it on. I'm not told.
I want to give a huge shout out to David, the drummer, Josh, the bass guitar player, and Michael, the keyboardist, as well as the choir, everyone who was involved in making this track possible. I actually enjoyed myself on the day. My next video, I'll be continuing from where I've stopped by actually showing how you can use an analog mixing console like this to create an in-ear mix for your band. And I'll be using the auxiliary sense to actually create some kind of in-ear mix for a band, or I'll show you how you can do that. So you might want to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so to see that video when I drop it. Please give this video a like. Please like the video. It helps the algorithm and helps YouTube recommend this video to other people who need it. Thank you very much for sticking around till the end of this one. I'm Kelvin. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.